pension, and senior support are all hot topics for baby boomers. But what can be done to improve these conditions? Vice President Advocacy of CARP, Susan Eng, traveled to Sudbury to rally the troops and talk about the actions surrounding these issues.
Now, one thing I want to mention.
Well, we're here to meet with the Sudbury chapter, and it's really quite an incredible turnout. They have about 200 people here, and all members, but a few friends as well. The important thing here in Sudbury is that Northern Ontario tends to be left behind. And despite the promises and despite having a government member provincially right now, they find they're still not being heard. They're still not getting the kind of priorities that they want. Regardless of where you live, you ought to have equal access to services.
Well, CARP, I've always had an interest in helping people, in particular seniors, because it's always seemed to be that group that never got anybody to listen to them. You know, they had particular issues, especially with aging, and these things need to be addressed. Retirement homes, if for certain, we need to have regulations that apply to private homes as well as the ones that are run by the government. They need to be consistent and they need to be somewhat monitored.
But one of the things that we did do was to try to keep the politicians' feet to the fire as much as possible and tell the media about it.
One of the issues for me is a universal pension plan that I've read a lot about in recent times, and that's something that's very important because I'm seeing a large number of people, especially in my parents' age group, that are struggling financially because they didn't have an opportunity to build a pension plan for their future.
One of the things that's most important to everybody here today, and you mentioned it, is our pensions. And one of the points that should be stressed is the pension plan should be audited to make sure that the companies are putting the right amount of money in the pension plan.
Really importantly here, their focus is on advocacy. While they realize also that there's a need for them to work together, and they are doing that. They volunteer and they coordinate their efforts. So I'm really impressed with how they are actually organizing themselves to really share in the vision that we have for CARP nationally.
When you get to be seniors, the most important thing is health. Everybody should be aware. It's fine to be 50, but soon they'll be 70. And so they have to be fighting on and on so that by the time they get 70, they won't have the problems that we have.
There's strength in numbers. And if we're going to support the seniors groups that we do and their issues, they need to get on side and help us by having a membership. Because we can go to any government and we can tell them, we've got X number of members, 350,000 members. If we put that much pressure on them, they got to listen. They won't always agree with us, but they got to listen.
They're on top of the issues, they're enthusiastic, and they've also put their time and effort into getting the word out as well. I mean, not everybody is on email, and so instead they have newsletters, they get advertising for the newsletters, they have a telephone bank, which is unheard of outside of an election campaign, which I really think is what's needed here. So this is the kind of can-do attitude that we really like to see in the chapters.
For more information and to get involved, visit carp.ca and sign up for the CARP Action newsletter. From there, you'll be updated on the issues that matter to you. In Sudbury, Amanda Lowe, Zoomer News.